Hello and welcome back to the Mech Chick Show. We're rolling along here with the previews, and with a team that's near and dear to my heart, we're going with the Wolfpack today. And to fill us in on what's going on with the pack, we have AFU's own Omari Fraser.
Oh, good to be back. Good to be back. It's my second turn around. Does that make me, I guess, the most appeared guest, or is there someone else who's, I guess, occurred more than me?
I think it's between Kurt and Brad. I think Brad's been two, I think.
Because you and Brad got that new series you guys are doing right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our Pokemon gameplay. Yeah, that's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, nice. How's it been replaying like all like the retro games that like we grew up on, like on Game Boy Colors, Game Boy Advance, SP, and everything?
Of course, it brings me back. The funny thing is, everything's randomized, and I find editing it is completely different from all this stuff. So it's like a new challenge too. So I'm like, okay, I got like an hour's worth of footage plus Brad, so I had to go in between. So it's like, damn, no wonder people hire editors.
Yeah. And here's a question for you, and maybe for the fans too. Who'd you pick for your first Pokemon? Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charizard?
It was always Charmander.
It was Charmander.
Always went for the hard route.
Oh right, no, what did I say? Charizard, yeah, Charmander.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, grass, water, fire. I always seem to went for Squirtle growing up.
Oh yeah, it's definitely my second.
Yeah, and then like I think I had games where guys would be like, "Can we do some like the hard mode?" And they would get like Bulbasaur, and of course like I think in the first couple of gyms, no, because I think the first gym grass is really good against rock, so like you'd be good, right?
Yep. And then second one's Misty, which is water. So again, good.
Electricity. In my head, I'm thinking good, but I think you get pumped a bit if you're water and grass, you get pumped, and then if you're fire, you're good. And then I think is it the fifth or sixth gym that's fire, where that like if you're a grass type guy, you just get absolutely just destroyed.
I think fire's the second last. I can't remember, but we'll find out with my show.
We'll find out.
This is gonna be a little sneak preview here before my next episode. So since this is like a Nuzlocke and every route you go to, you have to catch it, or in my case, accidentally kill it. I keep killing everything I see. So Brad's like, hey, why don't you get a tattoo of every single Pokemon you've murdered so far? And I was like, I'll only do it if one of these videos gets like 5,000 likes. Something attainable.
Okay, we could do 5,000 likes. I get some bots on that.
Oh God. But yeah, it'll be interesting.
That's fun.
Yeah. Alrighty. So let's get to so before we really get into it, what did you think of the top 30?
I thought it was great. I thought it was a great list. Like, I think it's such a cool thing that Xavier was able to put together, just like logistically alone, just being able to like, hey, we're gonna have it organized in by name, all Google Sheets, all free platform. Like, it's just a great way to get started, because then next year we can just build off that. And even then, even then, every year that if we can get a bit better, the votes will get a bit better. We can get more, more precise and all that stuff. But just 1 year, first year alone, like, it was absolutely fire. And I know I was blessed to be one of the guys picked by the AFL players, right, to get voted on. And in that fullback athlete role, which I think has kind of fit my playing style right now. Um, Blessed and honored, and it's still fun to keep playing the game and go from there. And I think it's a cool thing to where, like, with the way we did it, other teams can do it. And like one person I want to really get in touch with the farm we did is the Wizard. I know he covers a lot of junior sports, not junior sports, CGFL,
quite a bit.
all the provinces, all the conferences, PFC, OFC, BFC, BCFC, and I know he does a great job like covering them. So I'm like, man, like get that kind of form in his hands, let him do what he wants with it, and like let it build off it. That's something that's really cool to do. So I was a big fan of it. I know people were saying there was a call it Gators list. Well, I actually, I guess behind the scenes, I actually got to see like who voted. So like it was all players. Guys were from Gators, guys from Irish, guys from Bucks, guys from Cowboys. Like everyone had players vote. If anything, not enough players voted, if I had to be honest, because it was always like 8 to 10 players per team. Maybe Gators a little more, hence why you got maybe more Gators. But next year, maybe it's more serious, and everyone's like, okay, like every 40 players per team votes, or like everyone votes, because that way we can say, hey, it's a true player list and not just like a majority Gators and everyone else a 10 or whatever. Like it can be more of that, like we all have 30 players vote and go from there. So I don't know, I enjoyed it, and it's really good because it takes away the opinions and just leaves it to the players, right? It's all votes.
Oh yeah, of course. For the Wolfpack, who do you think got snubbed? Well, in your minds, who got snubbed?
Emmett Smith. I think Emmett Smith is one that I think really got snubbed, and Carter Cook. Carter Cook was a first team. I think he was the first team. Yeah, because I think
first team.
It was interesting because
I believe
Carter was number 14. He got All-Star selection, while Peter didn't. And then I know Peter got his vote at 21, and I got 20. And I was surprised Carter didn't get on the list, but Carter's that slender man kind of build where, I know he doesn't look the most physically dominating, but he's always technically sound, runs his rounds, he'll tank a hit, might hurt, get up again and do it again and go from there. And like he really blends well with Daryl's game. I know me and him feed off quite well on the 55 arrows. That's our classic. Anytime Daryl calls it, we look at each other and it's like,
oh yeah, of course.
It's either going to you or me or someone else. Like we kind of know how the play, is read out. Emmett Smith, young DB. I thought he easily could have been top corner that was voted on. Like I know he shut some guys down, made some impressions. Hard to be ignored. And of course Joshy, like, but at the end of the day, for the players voted, maybe they would have made it in the 50 to 30 range. But maybe that's a next year thing where we up it for 5 players. If say the overall player count goes up, we then up it to like that proportion. But yeah, I think those are the top 3 that come to mind, and I think they're just more, if anything, it fuels guys to want to compete harder and play harder and raise the standard level of play in our league. So I know there's a few guys on the team that were like, man, like congrats, but I'm excited to.
Alrighty. So recruiting. Safe to say the Pack has maybe the best recruiting class of the AFL this season. Let's go through that. Of course, big signing today, running back from the Irish. How's he been so far?
She's been doing great. It's been good to have her out at Ava Prime Collar, like pumped to have her be at practices. And then like what's been really exciting is seeing how, like, I guess how easy it is for her to blend into the game already with like the way Daryl calls the offense. And it's nice because it adds extra depth to the RB room, which is good for good for me, good for every room, good for other guys who we're bringing in because it helps spread the load in different types of game, and it just helps bolster our running game that does need to be enhanced. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say our run game was the best ever. Like, that's one area that we need to vastly improve on. Like, um, that's one thing which I look at last 2 years, and we're just like, man, if we just had a stronger run game, we could be in a different place. And having Ava join us, that's something that's going to help us bolster us into that next phase. So definitely one part of the phase of up in the run game, and then I think the next part, of course, is always O line, but that's something which we're always working on, and we got some good prospects that we're um, you know hands out to where we can then really say, okay, like we've done the logistical stuff of adding more bodies to the O line, to the running backs, and now we're gonna just put the work in to really showcase it in the season.
Okay, so for the defensive side of the ball, how has recruiting been for there? Because I know, like, of course, on the offense, running the ball was an issue, but stopping the run last year was another issue you guys had. So, what have you guys done to address that?
Add bodies. We add bodies. We stuffed the box. So that was one thing now too, where um again, another weakness against us was stopping the run. There's a picture of LJ Dyer running literally through us, where there was a guard on the left side of the frame and his other guard on the other side of the frame, and just this whole middle, and no Wolfpack players in the middle. And like, we're looking at that at our like, captain's wrap up, and I was like, guys, this picture cannot happen. Like, this is the biggest flex that any running back would love, and O line would love. And like, I think it's funny because I think in that game the Irish ran for 270 and we threw for like 300. So it was just basically like a ground versus air kind of game, which was always it was always fun to play in. But obviously, you don't win a championship without a run defense. So one big thing we did was just taking a look at guys, saying, hey, who's going to be around, who's not, and then saying, look, we need to add bodies to this, because a lot of it was where we just had guys who weren't matched up well. And I think size, of course, plays a big role there. So I felt our strength was very much speed and getting the angle, but a lot of teams brought a lot of size, and that's kind of what I think when I look at all the previous tape and film, we lacked in. So just going out and recruiting. So what helps is that just with other dynamics in the league, we're able to get some transfers coming in. I'm very happy to add guys back in purple. Josiah, Chris, Marcus bring great depth and all bring great unique abilities. It's always fun playing against those guys when it was Irish, but it's much better to have them with us. I find they have those three, and I know the fourth amigo Daniel. Like, anytime playing against those 4 to 3, they always brought great chemistry in like what they're doing, the creativity with Anton when they were Irish. So bringing that into Wolfpack, we're looking to build off that, and then just some straight up size. Pretty much just trying to find any guy that was squatting 4 plates, benching 3 plates. I'm like, hey, look, you look great, in purple. But also happy to announce we had some international signings. One player that I've been working on for about a year and a half was able to get his immigration in, and he landed, showing to practice. His name's Terry. You guys want to meet him. I've told him he's got to speak Cantonese to you guys all throughout. So anyone trying to DM him, he needs his translator who, may or may not be Duolingo. But very excited to have him because he brings fresh eyes, fresh blood into the league. He's played over in China and going to be doing that here. And big gym rat. I think in testing he put up 29 reps of bench, which that's definitely up to the combine numbers, which is awesome to see. So that adds some great strength, and as well to make sure we support him is, having guys like the great leadership of Maxine, he's going to help really anchor and be the voice of our D line. And then there are some other players too that we are looking forward to seeing with some young high school guys, which is great. Like, you always want to keep adding fresh blood. Fresh blood. Now, are they going to match it with the Gators? Probably not, but you need to keep them involved in the whole, hey, this is the future version of yourself. If you were to commit to your workouts, commit to your training, and have them see that version, and then keep them inspired. I think that's one thing that's really going to shine. And then I have one guy that I'm very happy to see him get the pads on potentially. I don't like to hype things up too much, but he's a guy that has some UFC experience, and I'm wanting to hope that things align to have him come out. But again, we'll see. But overall, like with the buys we're adding, new additions from all over, and I think what's nice is that we're seeing a lot of guys come from not just uh, not just like other teams, but also guys who are coming back, and then as well coming back and guys are growing into the position. Because I guess I'll tie it into linebackers because when I think of the run stopping uh, functionality of our team, it starts with the D line, but it's also going to help with our linebackers. And last year, a lot of our linebackers were basically getting hands onto them by the O line, and then impeding their way to make tackles, and just in that high efficiency method you'd like to see to you know, make tackles early in the hole, not have be a case where you need to fight off a lineman and then make the tackle. So with the addition of our D lineman, this is now where we're going to be freeing up more bodies in our linebackers to make plays. And I guess we're going to have one of our players coming back, Skylar Pinchuk. I'm very excited to have him. And then I guess on the transfer side of things, welcoming back Chris Barak. I know he's a former partial owner of the Wolfpack and everything. So for him, it's putting back on the
Oh,
purple,
wow.
and then adding back on King Huang.
Yep.
He's now one where I know he was kind of early one, but I'm very excited for him because it's the energy and the voice that he brings. I think is going to be that next level to the team, and I can actually touch on a bit on like what that's going to do, and what that's going to do to help us elevate. But just now taking those guys and then adding on our guys we had from last year, Matt, Dawson, Yetzi. I know Kelsey was a little bit from LB up and back, DB corner, everything, but like just that mix is going to be a huge addition to um, just help keep guys clean, making plays, and staying healthy. But I think that's a big update from size, intensity, and leadership. And it adds those pieces that we were missing last year. And I don't want to say missing because I don't want to diminish the efforts you guys are putting in, but it just allows us to add levels so we can better match up, which I'm excited for. Because we very much want to make sure we're still welcoming all the guys that are coming on and were with us in the years that, let's just say how it is, like the rough years, the dark years for Wolfpack, when it was like 10 guys at practice, 15 guys at practice, 12 guys at practice, and now we have guys. Last year we were averaging 27, I believe my spreadsheet was saying. We had 27 guys at practice per week, and then the goal is to raise that now to 35, which I think should be a very easy standard to hit. But now, if we have a weekly average of 35 guys at practice, there'll be days where we're higher, lower, but raise the bar and raise the intensity. I think that's going to be a really good way to overall build some chemistry to stop the run. So we'll take it from there and take it week by week. I think that's one thing that's going to be something to always assess, just taking it week by week.
Okay. I'm definitely excited to see the new guys in purple, especially King, because like I was his teammate for, I'll say 2 years, 2.5. And yeah, he's just an amazing player. So it'll be fun to see him get those starting reps and playing the whole games. So far for, we'll say not indoors, but like off-season training, the indoor workouts, and now the start of practice. How's the numbers been, and how's the intensity been as well?
Numbers, I could say straight off the bat have been great. Right from the start of our indoor workout, I know you were able to come to one. I missed the first one, but I think I was told 43. We had 43, and then off the pre-registrations that we had, those alone, I had 30. I guess I'll just say 30 off the pre-registration list, and I have everyone, just anyone who comes, they pre-register, allows me to track and also as well plan out the practice. I like to say 30 confirmed. Calling the 5 10 that walk in. I think that was the same for the three. So overall, we're sitting at that like 40-ish number. I think the second practice we had more we had more linemen than skill players that showed up, which is I think rare. It's always the skill players that show up and then like, oh, we need more linemen, but like the linemen were like, oh, like, we're gonna have like a sick like indie period, one-on-ones, compete period, and everything, and that was really cool to see. And then as numbers flowed in, we evened up, but that was really good to see as it went for like indoor, like the workouts we had throughout the season. Um, that gave guys a really good chance to, hey, come out if you can to the Monday or Friday. Attendance for those was really good over the winter. And then as we were then they dipped, and then as we got closer to the season, they built back up, which I liked that trend because it just shows that as it was getting closer, guys are getting more into the gym and making time for it. Things were aligning, which is good to see because I think that's also a deterrent, or like you can blow your load too soon. If
Mm.
if you try and have all the events and like just things so jam packed and like starting right back off the natty. I know some teams have done that in the past. I felt like like this is still a hobby for us, right? We have our jobs to do and commit to and do. So you need to give guys that time away to step back, let them do what they want to do and everything. And I felt we had a good balance of allowing space for guys to do other pursuits or just get back to other responsibilities. And then as now things would get closer to the season, that shifts to us, which is nice because guys don't have to worry about like, man, like my wife's been on me for like being at football practice every Friday or every Monday or whatever. Like, hey, I can make it. Hey, I can't make it. Cool. Just communicate, go from there. And I think as long as guys are seeing we're communicating and talking and synergizing, we're in a good spot. Like that's one thing now which I think I've seen and learned and try to apply when it comes to trying to manage all the expectations that guys are having and what guys want, where the energy is going, and then put it all together. But overall, I think we're happy with how the off season overall came together. And I think testing that we did last 2 weeks ago now was a nice accumulation from that, and really got the energy and excitement high heading into the first week of practice and everything.
That's awesome. All right, I know the pack has some new sponsors, but before we get into that, we're going to talk about the sponsor of today's episode, Newfound Wealth. So, of course, we're going to have the founder of Newfound Wealth not explain, but just tell the people what Newfound Wealth is all about.
Yes, I self plug, best open mouth, open business. Newfound Wealth is my company, my firm that I actually opened up here start of the year. I was with another company for quite a while, and I guess the opportunity came to where then I was able to go on my own and kind of brand and service clients how I see fit and everything. So my biggest services are now in financial services, insurance, investments, banking as well. Just being able to help guys in all these different situations, debt consolidation, insurance. Like I can do a lot of things, but really it's just opening space to create the conversation on like what you want to do to help get money moving ahead, working harder for you. Are you protected enough? All those stuff. And no one likes talking about money, especially in a time like right now where, you know, financial stress at a high, all the stats you can look at are at a high and everything. But, just really be in this place to where I can then have conversations, help it where I can, and just make it just more relaxed and helping you navigate the journey. That's kind of where I wanted to be and everything. And I think I'm now 4 months in since opening the doors and really allowing myself to take on new clients and like seeing great things just of being able to address certain things and seeing different trends and just navigating conversations and managing expectations. Everyone likes to think that everyone has it all together. A lot of people don't, which is fine, but at least you're taking the steps to do it. But I'll at least close with this to where if you're someone now who, you're a Canadian family, an individual looking to get started in your financial journey of trying to save more, protect yourself because need income protection for your young family or for yourself or business needs, corporate needs, group planning, whatever. More than happy to have the conversation with you. Like I think I really appreciate the AFL because on a AFL because it's helped me connect with guys in the community who we all, we're all business guys, working guys, like have ideas and everything. We bounce off each other and just help and support each other. Because at the end of the day, we're just trying to help people and help raise awareness and share what we do. And the AFL is a great community for that because despite us all being football heads, we're also guys who have families, have goals, have pursuits, have accomplishments we're trying to hunt down, and it's a great place to grow. So, Newfound Wealth. You can find me on Instagram. My website's up now. Book a discovery call. One thing I will be doing for the AFL is I will be pushing disability insurance policies. So anyone who's looking to get covered for the get hurt, break a bone, get coverage from outside of work plans. That way, then like something happens, the ambulance, the recovery, all that's covered, all that stuff that you know can happen in a game that is very intense and physical. Might give you that last bit of comfort to know that hey, if something does happen, my income doesn't stop. I don't have to go out of pocket to then pay for this ambulance or all the gear to then recover all that stuff. So there'll be some advertisements coming out soon. I'll make a post. It'll be a plug post, but I'd rather plug it than not. I've always done it for the team and then offer it to some players around. But I think at least this time I'll offer it out to everybody. And if it helps you, great. If not, great. And if you want to have a conversation, we'll talk from there.
Perfect. Well, yeah, find your newfound wealth today. That's a very long plug. Yeah, we have to shorten it a bit.
yes. I since I got everyone's attention, I feel like I had to really snatch the moment. But
all good.
I can tie that into now how we're doing our sponsors. So one guy on our team that's done a really great job with sponsors and helping hunt that down is Memphis. Everyone knows him as I like to call him who's the Chargers quarterback?
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. He's our Justin Herbert. The amount of girls he gets is crazy. He's got the long hair. Reminds me of Justin Herbert. All I need now is his TikTok girlfriend to come on and TikTok famous girlfriend to come to practice, and then we're set. Then all the sponsors will line up. But jokes aside, he's done a great job just with getting out, hunting sponsors, reaching out, putting the package together, hunting it down, and making sure we deliver on the deliverables. And we have a good, healthy mix of paid sponsors, and as well, one idea that I really want to push is like player business sponsors. Because one thing as a business, you're always trying to advertise and get your business out there. And so one thing that we're doing is that anyone who's a business owner, myself, Alex, Marcus, Cartel, Logan, we all have our own businesses. Like, hey, get their logo on stuff that's also getting advertised because it's just free likes, it's free interactions. Someone's going to see it, maybe they interact with it, gives them a lead because as a business owner, you're always trying to find your next business and advance yourself that way. So I think it's a great way to blend the two, where we're gonna have our paid stuff, which is good for them, but as well mixing our free stuff. We do have to make sure we blend it, like work it well enough to where we don't go too hard on like it's all just free and then it's just exposure, but make sure the paid guys get their promised deliverables. And then for us, just getting on the stuff like the website, getting on the programs, all that stuff that will be nice for people to see. Because I think it's cool to where if a player was able to pay their fees, be a good standing person on the team, and then maybe one of the home games, someone gets the program. Oh, and I'm looking for a deck. Oh, I see Cartel. He wears number, I think 82, 4. I forget his number. He's gonna get on me about that. But hey, I see he builds a deck. He just got a pick. Hey, I'm gonna give that guy a call. And if that now leads to a job for him, like that now feeds his family, that now puts food on the table. Like it's something that's free, that's easy for the team to do. And I think it's, as a business owner, you're always trying to find the next way to advertise. So I think it's a really good idea just to do that for players and just say, hey, as long as you're in good standing of the team, we'll do it, and like try and work it in ways to do that and go from there. So um, that's kind of the two ways we've approached it, and it's been going really well. Like I think one guy that's on our team, that's Logan. He's really working. He's just opened his business with window cleaning. Um, I'll do a plug for him. I know he'll appreciate any businesses out there looking to get their windows cleans, no matter the size of the building. Logan Hills, Hilgachi, Wilhelm Exterior Services. Call, get a quote. I'm sure he'll tag himself in this, and I'm sure he'll enjoy that. But um, just supporting guys from established to then new and going from there. And the ideas as well, if like, hey, if I get a lead from the team that saw me play and I made X amount of dollars, hey, I can help throw the team $500, $400, $300 as like a nice like thank you, because it helped complete the circle. So trying to give value to see value in return. I know it's a very long cycle, but it'll pay off, and I think the guys appreciate that, because we're helping them out with their football pursuits and as well business pursuits, because there's always that contemplation of like I'm here right now playing football when I should be, you know, doing some business activities to try and drive it forward. So trying to make that easier for guys, and not to kill, but check a lot of boxes. Well, we're also trying to check one big box.
Okay. Are you guys thinking of doing kind of like advertisements on the jerseys?
We recently got I know the new ones last year. I'll give us our treasurer's explanation. I like for patches, because I guess we have to do patches now because the jersey's already made. Um, Jerseys are already made. For us to do patches, we'd have to, in Daryl's little words, we have to account for the cost to get them on, and as well to get them off if they were to then not be
Okay.
sponsors. So yes, we like if we would have jerseys made, yes, we can work them in there. And then if they were to, for our current ones, we could, but they just have to be, I guess, in the cost of it also account for it coming off. Because I know that's one thing where our money man Daryl, right? He always makes sure that fees are collected. It's either fees or knees, one of the two.
Jeez, that's awesome.
But I think we would
Okay,
entertain it for the right dollar.
Okay. I had a diabolical thought during some of this. Imagine if a team got their logo on another team's through a sponsor. So, like, let's say the Gators gave the Cowboys money. It's like, hey, put our logo on your jersey.
It'd be. I
It would
feel
have to
like
be the right amount.
it has to be the right amount. It has to be the right amount. Like it'd be a diabolical thought, depending on the financial situation.
Mhm.
I don't like do you do it? Is like one set? Is the whole set? I don't know. Like that's a diabolical thought of just, hey, we have more money than you.
I know, right?
Flex. This is our
Yeah, I don't think it would ever happen.
this is the AFL's secret way of a hostile takeover.
Yeah, no kidding. Everyone, just one team.
Yeah.
Jeez. All right. Okay, so back to the football side of things. Since you guys are having more players come out, has there been an evolution to the offense now? Because I know with the pack, it's been kind of it's been easy. Like I can show up right now and know what the pack's doing because one, I've been there most of my AFL career, and two, it's pretty straightforward how it works. So has there been like new kind of a switch up to it?
I'll tell you something. 55 arrows is still around.
Of
And it's
course,
not
it
going away.
always be there.
It's not going away. I feel like here's how I've been able to entice Daryl for new plays. I send him a couple Instagram reels. I have to send him about four so he can look at one and he'll consider that one. And I have to send him then four more to have him look at one. And then out of the ones he looks at, he'll take one idea and then like, hey, like try this concept and then go from there. So um there is some
It's working
small,
slowly.
it's a small work, but it's, you know, I know there's been conversation of like our offense has been too simple, our offense is very basic and it can get found out quite easy. And, like this is now the reason why I think we just really just bought into like, hey, Daryl's gonna run the offense and that's it, is you're messing with the offense that has had 1,000, like 10,000 hours of runtime. Call it game time, run time, practice time. The Daryl's ran that offense now for 10,000 hours. So he's obviously the expert at it and knows where to place the ball, knows where to read. Hey, your linebacker's going to do this. I'm going to go here, and it's all there and everything. So it's really one thing now that where I think we're just going to leave it there because it does help to where like keeps things simple and very plug and play. Like just know your numbers, know your routes, and your timing, and we're good to go from there. The area that I think now is in that, as I'm in that, like I guess player GM trying to get everyone happy, like matchup role, like is I've really noticed our offense operate the most efficiently when we have matchups in the right spots. So having like a guy like Peter Lee stretch the field, great routes on the outside. We had that with Vardo. We had that with in previous years. One I guess era that I really saw the team really thrive in was kind of my first couple of years with the Wolfpack. We had a guy, Zach Welton. You probably remember Zach, right? He was
Oh, yeah, of course.
big slot, inside slot that always was over the middle. And Daryl used to throw the ball like he called 55 arrows, and like Daryl would be like, "Okay, Zach is just really gonna put like I had like the LBs here, and he's just gonna put the ball here." And Zach was enough to tank a hit and then keep the ball rolling. Can't get the ball rolling, and like this offense is really does good things in matchup situations. So knowing like, hey, like I'll explain for last year, and actually the previous year too, because this scenario involves the same safety. Cam Miller, right? Lights out guy. Anytime he goes safety, like by far one of the hardest hitters, but as well like one of the cleanest hitters too. Like he's a guy too where he'll hit you, but it's always going to be in the body, in the hips, in the thighs, right? Like with a thumb, and you'll get up and walk away. You'll feel it, but you'll know like, okay, I got hit, and let me just take my 2-3 minutes, and I'll come back. Perfect. Hey, we're playing football. I've always seen those catches where like, hey, we need a catch over the middle. It's free, but we're going to take a shot. And in previous years, we've had guys like Zion and Carter last year do those routes, the nines up the middle and take the hits where I'm like, like we ran that in 2018, 2019, and it was a different story. So that's an area where I'm like, okay, if we can have a guy who's just going to catch the quick nines, tank it from the safety. Scenario could be Cam Miller or any other safety, and keep the ball rolling. That as a dynamic now that I think elevates us because, um, you know, I think Carter won't shame me for saying this, but like Carter does it. He takes a hit. He's out for a couple of plays. He comes back in. Versus if we were to have a bigger guy, which I had someone last year. He got called out to BC for work. He was going to be that guy where could tank a hit and munch those hits and continue on the day. So that's now where with us adding guys on the recruiting side, and the offense, I'm like, okay, our offense works better with these kind of body types. I need to go find them and bring them in. So obviously, I think we have a good number of receivers. I am looking for that bigger body receiver to tank a hit on the seam, and then lineman. I think we're ready to go. So offensively, philosophy wise, hasn't changed. Matchups, trying to align it the best way we can.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, just a couple different plays here and there wouldn't hurt, I'd say. But yeah, of course, Daryl's going to run his offense. He knows everything when it comes to this game because he's seen it all.
Yeah,
but
and
here's a couple different plays here and there.
And here's a question for you: would you like to be that inside slot running catching the quick nines, and then potentially tanking a hit from Ken Miller? Is that something that you like to do this summer?
No, because I have a wedding to plan for, and I have a newborn to look after. Funny enough, I still have the rib plate.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? Maybe when the kids are older, I could do that because I'm still working out. I do have a bit of a dad bod at the moment, but who knows? We may have a comeback for me.
Hey, that's the theme that I'm seeing a lot of right now is, a lot of dads been putting in the work to make the comeback. All right. Or like, not to make the comeback, but like you've given your time and effort on the family, and then you're reeling that back in for yourself. So I'm all for it. So I'm looking forward to in a 2-3 year period, we see a jacked Mike Check show, washboard abs on Baywatch.
There you go.
In the stands, he'll catch a ball, catch a 9 ball, and then he's in the stands, using his washboard abs to, flex the sponsorship that the team paid him to put on his abs.
There you go. Oh, that'd be awesome. But who knows? But for now, I'm just promoting the league. That's what I do.
Yeah. Hey, it's what we do. It's something where the league needs, and I think that's like a sidebar to touch on, like the efforts we put into the league too. Like it's obviously grown and got more attention, and there's a lot of conversation about it. Good, bad. It wasn't even bad, but just like call it the spicy talk, as we all like to say, the spicy talk, the trash talk. We're talking about the league, which really does a good job in like bringing more eyes, more attention, more assets. It's been nice to go to like sponsors and say, "Hey, we love to have yours." Like part of our package now is being able to say, "Hey, like logo goes on this, logo goes on that, goes on the ad stream, on the YouTube stream, live stream," which is great. Next year, here's an idea too that we can potentially run is have ad spots for the top 30 list, right? Because those how was your insights over the, I guess, 30 days or 35 days of putting those up? Pretty high. You're probably like 250 insights.
I'll have to check because I know each video got the lowest was like 2K, the highest was about 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it was. I didn't do it on TikTok. I'll have to make a video for that, but it's more than what I usually got. So
yeah.
It's definitely growing.
Yeah, and that's something too where like, if you wanted to do like a company one, cool, a player one, where it's like, hey, like players can have their logos on a little smaller for smaller fee for the 3 days. Cool, great. And maybe you were to get like a canna cabana or stacked breakfast or I don't know, local mom and pop shop, whatever. Like, could be whatever, but who's getting on there? Like, hey, because it's nice because then you're also doing all that work in the hours, and then break it up into sections. But I think that'd be a good thing for you. Like that was one idea. I was like, oh man, like I could see that working really well for you in the future years because we now know the results it brings, and ideally monetize that for you and part of the league and however that works because it is still your hours, and go from there. So that's an idea I had, and I was like, yeah, I need to make sure I bring it up to you for next year.
Yeah, I know next year is going to be bigger and better, so I can't wait for it.
Yeah, you could do like packages. You could do like packages where
Yeah,
you have
true.
it like you get you're on the list for five numbers, bang bang bang, and you just go from there.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, I'll definitely have to look into it. We'll wait till after the season's over.
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect. Alrighty. So as dads, we definitely need our sleep. So we're coming to an end of the show. Before we leave, new recruits. Let's say I'm a new recruit looking to join the pack. What is your message for me and anyone else looking to join?
Can you show the practice? um, and I say that joke like for the full heart of like, can you show the practice? Because um, that was kind of the thing that in our dark years post COVID, coming out of that post COVID year, like practices were going downhill and everything, and it's taken a lot of years to get that back up. And so just ensuring that, hey, if you're going to come to the Wolfpack, you need to come to a practice. Like we practice twice a week, Tuesday, Thursday, 7 to 9 p.m. Um, that way then guys can at least finish up their day and get their family, get their food in, and then come to practice. If you can only make one, let us know. We got one guy, Skylar. He drives up from Cardston, for just a 2-hour drive into
Yep.
Calgary, practices and drives back. So anytime someone gives me an excuse, I'm like, really? Like you're gonna give me an excuse where Skylar's like, hey, I'm pretty much good for all Thursdays, which
Yep.
that's the commitment that Skylar brings, and I love him for it because he's a guy too where he's on the 4 kids, business, everything, making time for it. So for the guys who want it, like they'll make it
Yep.
work. But overall, when I'm talking to any new recruits, high schoolers, transfers, I'm like, what's your practice schedule like? Because we want you here. Because I know there's a lot of transfers who will love to come in and say, hey, like, I'm gonna start on this team. I cannot practice and start. I've had a few calls from guys who who are who want to entertain a move, and I'm like, just know we want to have you at practice because some of our leaders on the team, I'll say put him on blast, but he's a guy that loves to make sure he's our culture police, Logan. If you're not at practice, like
Mhm.
you're like, yes, we want you here, but you're not going to start over someone who's been putting the work, going, and he's been putting the work, playing, doing all the reps. We want to entice that because no one likes a practice where there's only 12 guys. I think I mentioned it before, but let's increase the
True.
standard and everything and bringing them in. So that's the first thing I'm saying. Second thing is letting them know that we don't get paid. I've had to answer that question a lot this off season. Hey, we're
Jeez.
not we're not a we're not a get paid league. We're a pay to play league. But I think our league does lead to opportunities that other leagues don't provide. Like I think we're one of the best leagues to where you can come in, get film, get high quality film, and take that overseas. I think that's something I know the Gators have done quite well, which is great. I think one area that like really fits for a lot of teams is like you come in, meet some players, build some connections, lead to friendships and business opportunities in the future. That's that that's like maybe even better than getting paid outright to play football, but just opportunities that it brings of being around a team, opportunities it brings. You're a guy out of college. You're you're a fresh guy out of a program, so you get all the physical attributes, but you're looking to make some business connections. Hey, you're going to talk to a guy that's, hey, I did your program, 10 years ago. This is what I saw. This is what I have now. Here's a little rough guideline and follow it through. So, just those experiences, I think our league does a lot. I think just offers. Um, I think that's one thing where like it's very attractive for guys to come here because everyone loves the idea of getting paid, but obviously we can't afford it. But there's going to be other areas that check off the box or fulfill us in a way to where we make it worth it. So that's one thing there. And then I think the other thing too is just committing to um, just like team events, team building, community events, the rodeos, all that stuff that helps team run and makes you feel part of the guys. That's obviously important. Playing time, we are trying to make sure we have a good route of trying to get everyone to play and balancing that between controlling the game, winning, and make sure everyone's happy. That's always a dynamic that every team's going to try and work out, but just addressing that, and for me just being upfrontly truthful while being optimistic, but not to bloat, because um no one likes to, especially my work. I've always liked to under promise and over deliver. That way, then you can always say like, "Hey, man, like we said this and this, and then I got way more. This was a great time, great experience, awesome." Versus over promise, under deliver. Hey, man, you said I would be 10 catches and 1,000 yards. Well, you would have to average X amount, based off numbers and averages. We would need to be hitting this, but we can't because we need to get guys in and all that stuff. But just being able to say, hey, like, you're going to play receiver, you're going to play receiver here, you're going to be a good little guy, expect 3 catches, 40, 50 yards, be part of the team, block, specials, do everything, right? And then let the direction of the game flow. If it's a game where you get 20 yards, sick. If it's a game where you get 30 yards, cool. But just make sure that people are clear about that, because one thing that makes our culture quite strong is just being able to say, hey, like, we're all equal. We're all trying to do our part and keep it strong, because I think we've built it back, but got to protect it, because it can ever so easily be whisked away by the next hot new team or newest jerseys, newest location, whatever you like, whatever comes up. But just trying to keep it rooted. So just keep it down to earth. That's kind of how I like to approach it.
Awesome. All right, Mari, thank you for being on the show today. Of course, it's always a pleasure, and I'll definitely have you back on for some more Mike Check Show content. One question for you. Mm-hmm. Why have I not been on the AFU podcast yet?
So we have, as I'm sure the people know, our scheduling has been sporadic. Probably with me with a new business, and then I know with Tej, for those I think everyone kind of knows now, he's in a very big boy job as a Silver Lake counselor. So I know communicating with him has been a little tough, just with like meetings, him also being a dad, and it does come with a higher level of responsibility, which is fine, because it's a great opportunity that I think is going to lead Teach to other opportunities and have our voice be heard, and do a great job in politics. So scheduling has been tough because we have a couple ideas we want to do, but you're on the list to make sure we get you in and get the podcast together and then have a mega episode. So don't worry, it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon.
Maybe we'll have the dad podcast. So
yeah,
we'll have our kids with us, just talking football, talking fatherhood, being a new dad and all.
Gonna be bottles.
We'll have Kurt on it as well, because of course he loves being a dad.
Yes, and like I think what's one pretty cool thing with our league is that we have dads who are on the different family chapter, and like us who are on like the beginnings of the family chapter, and like just like where the mingles are and all that stuff. I think it's a very it's a very empowering place to be, because in a world where, as I'm sure we know as dads, it's everything's pinned against us, it's always on us and XYZ. But to have a place where, like, I think as a league, you see other dads thriving and like figuring it out, and dads who are starting to figure it out, and dads who are like in the beginning process, like I think there's always that mutual respect of like, you're doing your best, you're playing a game you love, like despite all the football drama. I think there's that respect that we all have between like, we're just a bunch of dads just trying to play a place where we like, that everyone tells us we're too old and too washed, and we all ignore them. And I think we all find unity in that. We ignore the naysayers.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you play the game you love.
Yeah, and it's
Alrighty.
really cool. And it's really cool
Alright.
feeling to see your kids play, see you play.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we'll end it here. Thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe. Check out, of course, AFU. Even the older episodes, they're always fun to watch. Also, check out my gameplay with Brad. It's been fun. They're a little long episodes, but hey, if you got time to kill, watch it. Of course, check out more episodes of the Mike Check Show. I'm going to be doing my weekly episodes throughout the season. And yeah, thank you all. And Mike, check it out.
See you later. Chat soon.